I'm Uriah Kennedy, and this is
Ingrid Bettridge.
God and Country. This is going to be a weekly podcast. It's going to be coming out every Monday. So I hope everybody likes and subscribes to it. I hope you find the content very, very interesting. Something to get you thinking, get you working with your friends and neighbors as to things that we could do better within society. The whole point of our conversations that we're going to be doing within God and Country is bringing together politics and religion. Now, politics and religion are taboo items around the Thanksgiving dinner because it causes family fights. But our feeling is if we start bringing morals and values back into society, we're going to be better as a society as a whole. We shouldn't be reluctant to talk about these type of things. We shouldn't be bashful or afraid to bring God into things because in reality, it's freedom of religion, not freedom from religion. Now, we're not going to be preaching. This isn't going to be a gospel subject. We're not going to be we're not going to be preaching, and we're not going to be catering to any one religion or the other. We're not going to be favoriting Catholicism or Mormonism or Southern Baptist or anything like this. It's where we all can come together and have certain principles that we stand up for and bring those principles, those values, it back into society and make it popular, make it
We
something
have
we all
more
talk
in
about.
common than we don't.
Exactly, and that's the whole point of this conversation is to bring out what we have in common, so we stop bickering and picking each other apart.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one thing. So if myself as a Mormon believe in certain principles, then the Southern Baptists will say, well, you believe this, and this, and this, and that's not necessarily true. You guys are a cult. Or the Catholics will try to pick apart the Jehovah's Witnesses, or the Jehovah's Witnesses will try to pick apart everybody else, or the Southern Baptists picking apart Lutherans. And what we should all be doing is finding out those common ground and just laying everything aside and just saying, well, yeah, we have idiosyncrasies between our religions that sometimes we can bicker about behind the scenes, and a good debate about those things is always good. It's healthy. And we should discuss those topics. But when it comes down to it, we need to unite politically, we need to unite socially, we need to unite as a country. And the only way to do that is to find the common ground that we have with each other and build upon that. I believe murder's bad.
Same.
You believe murder's bad, right?
Yeah.
I believe that rape is wrong. You believe rape is wrong. I believe that fraud is bad. I believe that child molestation is wrong, and then pedophiles shouldn't be.
I believe God is good. I believe family is good.
Exactly. And I can guess that most Christians out there, most Jews out there, even a lot of your conservative Muslims, all believe the same thing.
They share those with us.
We share the values. And if we would just bring those morals and values back into society, we'd be incredibly powerful at this point. Now, the one thing I definitively noticed is a stark difference before a Trump election versus after his election. Before his election, people were kind of standoffish. They were afraid to say, "Well, I'm a Trump supporter." They're afraid
sometimes.
They're afraid to lose their jobs. They're afraid to get X'd on social media or something like that.
Don't want to offend anybody.
Political correctness has got to be
Yep.
the big thing nowadays, right? And it wasn't just about Trump, but it always stemmed back to a lot of religious things as well. People a little less talking about God out in public, out in the workplace, out in politics.
Yeah.
God had to stay out of politics, just as bad as God is staying out of our schools. And that's horrendous. And I'm glad to see that coaches that were praying with their students are now coming back because they're winning their court cases. And
so good.
so exciting to be able to see that. And even just a moment of silence was almost taboo. And we just need to stay, look, we all have differences of opinion when it comes to religion, and there's a lot of stark differences between Christianity and Judaism and being a Muslim or something like that. But in reality, we don't have that many differences. And if we would just settle ourselves down and discuss those things and support each other, Democrats would never have power ever again. They would never, ever win an election ever again. So the one thing I noticed was if you look at the combined meeting with Congress, the combined thing where Trump was a State of the Union without being a State of the Union. The Democrats were incredibly united, and they've always been united. I mean, they're with their signs, and they all vote in unison. They all protest in unison. It's the one thing that we can all admire about them is they are always united. They never shy away from a fight, and they fight amongst themselves. You'll see that in the news and stuff like that. But in the end, when it comes to vote time, they're voting together. They're voting in unison. And the Republican side, we often struggle with that. And I don't know why. It's like we pick each other apart. So I'm more conservative than you are, and you're less conservative than me is. We need to be more fiscally responsible, which we do. But